That looks like a fight, if indeed Gaddy can defend his title successfully, which is no sure thing.
All right. You've seen the showcase for Fernando Vargas. Let's see another showcase now, as yet another former Olympic star with an unbeaten pro record enters the ring. This is Joel Casamayor, 1992 Olympic gold medalist at 119 pounds. He was favored to win that gold medal again in 1996, but defected from Cuba to the United States just a couple months before the Atlanta Games. You see the early pro record, 8 wins, no losses, 6 KOs, just as was the case with Vargas. 4 of those 6 knockouts have come in the first round. The fighters' records tonight are being brought to you by The Ring, the Bible of boxing. And across the ring from Casamayor, his opponent, the veteran Julio Gervacio. And just as was the case with Vargas, who went in against his toughest opponent so far, so too does Casamayor go in against the man who is clearly his toughest opponent so far. Gervacio has been in with some tough opponents. As you can see, he once held a junior featherweight crown. He's moved up a little bit in weight since then and is somewhat heavier than in the old days as he gets ready to go against Casamayor. Tail of the tape now between Joel Casamayor of Team Freedom, the Cuban defector group in Miami. 4-year age advantage for Casamayor and 1-inch height advantage against Gervacio. They weighed in at 131 pounds apiece, agreed to in the contract. 1-inch reach advantage for Gervacio. Remember that Casamayor is that rarity, a power-punching southpaw. Rules of the bout with Harold Letterman.
The Joel Casamayor Julio Gervacio fight is scheduled for 10 rounds. There is no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 10th and final round. Jim.
Thank you, Harold. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the pre-fight intros.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, by way of Caesars Atlantic City, main events, along with your King of Beers Budweiser, present 10 rounds of boxing. This is in the junior lightweight division. The 3 judges at ringside scoring the bout, once again, Calvin Claxton, Larry Layton, and Paul Venti. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Tony Orlando. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red, white, and blue, and weighing in at 131 pounds. His professional record, 30 victories with 23 KOs to his credit, against 6 losses with 2 draws. From Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, here is Julio Gervacio. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the red trimmed with gold and also weighing 131 pounds. He captured Olympic gold in 1992, and now as a professional has a perfect record of 8-0 with 6 KOs. Representing Team Freedom, a native of Cuba, now living and fighting out of Miami, Florida, here is the undefeated Joel El Cepillo Casamayor.
Okay, gentlemen, you received my instructions, so let's have a good, clean, professional fight. Touch gloves, go back to your corner. Good luck.
Professional fight is the watchword. Casamayor seems to be the best that we have seen so far of the Cuban defectors, some of whom have never been able to overcome their long amateur careers. He himself has had 380 amateur fights.
Is that all?
Right, and at 26, the feeling among his handlers is that they want to move him much more quickly, say, than Vargas. Vargas is going to be on the slow road. He's going to be on the fast road.
Gervacio has been knocked out in his last 2 fights. Not a particularly good sign coming in against a hard puncher like Casamayor. There are 2 ways to look at Julio Gervacio as he comes in here. You can say that he's a veteran fighter with a lot of experience who should be able to give Casamayor trouble because of that, or that he's totally shot and therefore will be gone early.
Yeah, and I think he'll be gone early.
So far, it looks like the latter.
Most of the time when you see these guys that have been around for a little while, they don't seem to show good balance. They can't take a punch anymore. It's not a good thing to see.
And his balance problem has been evident since the opening bell. He's teetering around in there on his pins.
And that really means that he's already taken a few too many punches.
Well, he's going to take some punches if Casamayor can get his own act going here, because Casamayor is a hard puncher and an accurate one.
David Reed, the middleweight who won that dramatic victory in Atlanta, fought a fighter with similar credentials last night, an over-the-hill fighter who had held a title briefly, knocked him out in the first minute of the fight.
If Casamayor would come back with this left hand that he hit this guy with earlier, he'd knock him out in the first minute of this fight.
But Casamayor, more cautious than was Reed last night, who unloaded the right-hand shot in a hurry against Jorge Vaca, a fighter who once knocked out Mark Breland.
Yeah, but shortly afterwards, he was knocked out by a kid by the name of Roy Jones
in one round.
So really, you know, you can't say a whole lot there. Casamayor will have to be a little bit more active because he's the better fighter. He's the fighter here that people are here to see. So he'll have to be a little bit more active if he's going to move quick.
He's offering a lot of respect to Gervacio, and it's hard to see why from what's happened here in the early going. Gervacio has been off balance and hasn't really been able to land, kind of pawing forward with the right hand. Casamayor is staying well within his envelope and throwing one punch at a time.
Doesn't show the eye of the tiger wanting to kill yet.
Okay? Yeah. So give me that bucket.
You have to stay calm. He has nothing. You have your hands. He's got nothing. Use that jab. In this round, use your left hand a little more. You have to keep using the left hand.
But be smart, down. Okay? You got caught with a shot over there. Don't do that again. Okay? Nice and easy. Don't go crazy.
Casamayor, you see him lean in with a couple of jabs and a straight left hand. Well done.
Casamayor landed 53% of his attempted punches in the first round, but only threw 49 of them, only threw 15 power shots, landing 7. So as I said, relatively conservative in the first round, stayed within his envelope, offered a lot of respect to Gervacio. Let's see if he does the same in the second. Of course, one thing you learn in 380 amateur bouts is that a win is a win.
That's true.
And that becomes a problem when you turn pro.
A big problem because people want to see killings.
Well,
Left hand grazed the chin of Casamayor.
They want to see risk takers. Talking about risk takers, Gervacio told one of our production assistants that he has 8 children with 8 different women.
Hey.
A risk taker.
Sounds like the women were taking a bigger risk.
Casamayor might be trying to pace himself, Roy. He's really never gone a distance. This is supposedly a 10-round fight. Whoops.
Left hand inside, right on the point of the chin. Gervacio goes down like a fallen tree.
He shouldn't make it out of this round. He's really badly hurt. I told you, when guys like this don't show that balance early, their youths are in pretty bad shape. This guy's in pretty bad shape, and there's no way he'll get out of this round.
Yeah, he's wobbling around on his heels, and Casamayor has come out of that tight envelope now and decided to unload, and that'll do it.
That's it. Well, as I was saying, He was pacing himself.
Well, I don't think he was pacing himself. I think it's just that discipline that they have, the Cuban fighters. They always were disciplined to not to go out there and look for the big punches, but to outbox everyone. And that's what he still does.
That's true, but I still think it has to be in the mind of a young fighter that he might have to go twice as far as he's ever gone before. And so he was very measured in there. But he is a measured fighter, and the measure is in his favor.
Yeah,
It was scheduled for 10, but Joel Casamayor gets a second round technical knockout.
And there it is, a short left hand.
Yep.
Right on the button. That elevator was going down after he hit that button.
The point of the chin, right on the point, is one of those spots, isn't it, Roy?
It was the best spot.
Yeah. Better than the temple?
Throws that equilibrium off because it tilts the brain more than the temple would.
Smile on the face of Gervacio, and Joel Casamayor celebrates a second round TKO. Michael Buffer with the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Tony Orlando calls a halt to the bout at 1 minute and 47 seconds of round number 2. The winner by TKO victory, still undefeated, Joel Casamayor.
Another victory in the developing professional career of Joel, I should say, because he said Joel yesterday. Joel Casamayor. There are 13 members of Team Freedom in Miami, and most people expect he's going to be the best of the lot. So, 2 fights down and 3 to go on our TVKO card tonight. Still a lot of excitement ahead of us, and later on this evening, the main event, heavyweight title bout between Lennox Lewis of Great Britain and Andrew Golota of Poland/the United States. That one's still to come, and incidentally, Lennox Lewis has not yet arrived in the arena, so he's making a very late arrival for this bout tonight. Golota hiding in his dressing room, not yet available to our camera. We'd love to show you a live shot of the two of them as they prepare for the bout, but it isn't quite possible yet. And still to come, Jesus Chavez will defend his North American style title, one of those stepping stone titles, against Troy Dorsey. They've agreed to fight at 129 pounds. And then Arturo Gatti and Gabe Ruelas, who weighed in at 130 to contest Gatti's 130-pound title, will wind up fighting each other at something like 145. In fact, Larry, our in the dressing room scales indicate that since yesterday's weigh-in, both fighters, who are absolutely dried out, have gained somewhere on the order of 15 or 16 pounds, and that'll make for a safer fight tonight, but it's more like a welterweight bout than a 130-pound bout.
Well, this is commonplace. We're seeing now on television what we never used to see before, of fighters trying to fight at the lowest weight where they can be at their strongest. And so these are two guys who undoubtedly walk in the streets weighing 150, 155. As they get closer to the fight, they eat and drink less. I think Gatti told us he had 1 cup of water
in a day and a half.
In a day and a half.
Yeah.
So they are at their strongest, although Gatti may be kept artificially low at his weight. He's a younger fighter than Ruelas, and maybe this weight will affect him.
Yeah, indeed. There's a lot of expectation that this will be the last time Arturo Gatti fights at 130, that eventually he'll be moving up to 135 for his next fight. There's Troy Dorsey, who lives in Mansfield, Texas, and runs a